Welcome to Crash Shop, Brad here. Today I'm going to give you guys a quick run through of how I built my knife grinding jig. If you're not a knife maker or you're not interested in making knives, this video probably doesn't pertain to you. Basically, this is a tool that you're able to connect your knife to. It allows you to vary the angle, changing the steepness of your grind line. And once you learn to use it, you will have very even bevels. Let's get started. I've got three main components: angle iron, flat stock, and a hinge. Everything here is weldable steel. If you don't have a welder, I'd either swap the steel for aluminum and braze it, or just figure out a way to bolt the stuff together. I'm just cleaning off the steel to prepare it for some welds. Alright, before any welding, I'll be drilling a few holes into the angle iron. You'll see what these are for soon. It's important that these are all well aligned. Alright, time for welding. First, I'm welding the hinge to a piece of flat stock. Please ignore my awful welding skills. I promise I'm slowly improving. Alright, now I'll be welding the angle iron to the hinge. You can see the corner of the angle iron slightly overlaps the hinge, and the drilled surface stands out from the rest. So the holes are designed to hold bolts. These are what the knife will rest on when the jig is in use. If you plan on using thin steel, I'd recommend tapping holes and using the bolts from the other side so that the heads don't interfere with the grinding. You'll understand when you see it in use. So now I'm just removing some extra material to bring down the weight, as well as make room for some handles. Alright, with that material removed, I'll be attaching some square tube handles. So my original idea was to cut wooden wedges at multiple angles. They would then be placed into the hinge. The type of bevel I wanted to grind would decide which wedge I would use. As simple as that idea was, I didn't want to have to keep up with a bunch of wedges. So I decided to try something else. I'm drilling a hole into the top of the hinge. Now I'm grinding up to the hole from the outside to clear it out. Alright, so my idea is to use a bolt and washers. I'll be welding a bolt to the bottom of the hinge. The bevel angle will depend on how many washers I've slipped over the bolt. Alright, so after welding, I decided to throw on a quick coat of paint for the hell of it. And there's the jig all ready to be used. Like I said before, the angle of the grind will depend on how many washers I've slipped over the bolt. Once I have the correct angle, I throw a nut over the top to keep it all tight. And I'll be testing it out on this piece of scrap steel. You can see it'll be resting on the two bolts up front. And I'll just be using a small clamp to keep it tight against the jig. I'll start my bevel to the left of the clamp. Already, I'm liking the feel of the jig, and the handles are a huge bonus. Alright, so I'm about 1/3 of the way done with the first side. After finishing up, I moved to the other side. I flipped the blade, and now I'm grinding to the right side of the clamp. Alright, the grinding is all done, and it went by pretty quick. You can see my bevels are dead on. They're very straight and even. That was a great project, and it was very easy to build. I'm happy with the results on this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was a fun build. I'm happy to have a new grinding jig. Having something that allows you to get very consistent bevels is very important, especially if you're going to be making a lot of knives. I hope this video helped you. I hope you're able to pull inspiration, maybe create your own designs. I definitely pulled inspiration from this build off of many other videos that I was able to find on YouTube. I found some stuff on Reddit and some other blade forums, and I'm really happy with the results on this one. I've been using the jig for about a couple weeks now, and I really don't have any complaints. Besides, the paint is kind of rubbing off. I probably should have clear coated over that or not painted it at all. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.